The Rapportajoba system makes an appearance as Abdusattorov and Salem prepare for a tactical duel in Sharjah Masters 2025 Group around 8. On d4. Knight f6. Knight c3. On d5. Bishop f4. On e6. Knight b5. Threatening knight takes c7 check. Knight a6 played by Salem. On e3. Bishop e7. On h3. King castled kingside. Knight f3. On c6. Threatening pawn takes b5. Knight c3 played by Abdusattorov. Queen b6. Threatening queen takes b2. Queen c1 played by Abdusattorov. Bishop d7. Bishop e2. On c5. On a4. Rook fc8. Knight b1. Bishop d6. Salem intends to play. Bishop takes f4. On takes f4. Queen b4 check, and put immense pressure on the opponent. On a5 played by Abdusattorov. Queen b4 check. On c3. On takes d4 it is novelty move. Bishop takes d6. Queen takes d6. On takes d4. Knight c7. King castled kingside. Bishop b5. Threatening bishop takes e2. Queen e3 played by Abdusattorov. Bishop takes e2. Queen takes e2. Queen a6. Threatening queen takes e2. Queen takes a6 played by Abdusattorov. Knight takes a6. Knight bd2. Knight e8. Knight e5. Knight d6. Rook fe1. Rook c7. On g4. Knight b8. Knight d3. Knight d7. King g2. On g6. On h4. King g7. Rook h1. On h6. On h5. On g5. Rook he1. Rook b8. On f3. King g8. King g3. King h7. Knight f1. King g7. Knight e3. Rook bc8. Knight c2. King f8. Knight cb4. King g7. Rook e2. King h7. Rook f1. Rook g8. Rook a1. Rook gc8. King f2. King g7. King e1. King f8. King d1. Knight b5. King d2. Knight d6. On a6. On b6. King e1. King g7. King f2. King g8. King g2. King h7. Rook f1. Rook g8. King h3. King h8. On f4. Abdusattorov is planning to play. On f5. Knight e4. Knight c2. Rook e8. Knight db4. Knight df6. Knight a3 and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes f4 played by Salem. Rook takes f4. Knight e4. King h4. On f5. Knight f2. Think carefully what is the best move for Salem. Knight d6 is best move here because knight takes e4. Pawn takes e4. On d5. Knight takes g4. Pawn takes e6. Knight e5. Salem have small advantage. Let's analyze the main line. Knight f2. Threatening pawn takes f5. Knight takes f2 is not the best move played by Salem. Rook takes e6. Knight takes g4. Knight takes d5. Rook c8. Rook takes f5. Rook cf8. Threatening rook takes f5. Rook takes f8 played by Abdusattorov. Knight takes f8. Rook d6. Do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Salem? Knight h7 is a strong choice, since knight e7, rook g5, knight g6 check, king g8, rook d8 check, king f7 position is equal. Shifting to the main game. Rook d6, rook g7 is not the best move played by Salem. Rook d8. King g8. Do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Abdusattorov? Rook a8 is logical continuation as rook g5, rook takes a7, knight h2, knight f6 check, king h8, king h3. Abdusattorov have small advantage. Let's proceed to the main line. Threatening rook takes f8 check. King g8 played by Salem. Knight f4 slightly worse move played by Abdusattorov. Abdusattorov is preparing to play knight e6, king f7, knight takes g7, and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight f6 played by Salem. Salem is looking to play rook g4 check, king h3, rook takes f4, and increase their advantage significantly. Knight g6 played by Abdusattorov. Abdusattorov is planning to play rook takes f8 check, king h7, rook h8 mate, and dominate the board. Rook f7 played by Salem. Rook a8. Abdusattorov might go for knight takes f8, rook takes f8, rook takes a7, and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight h7 played by Salem. On d5. King g7. Salem wants to play knight takes g6 check. Pawn takes g6. King takes g6, and dominate the board. Knight e5 played by Abdusattorov. Threatening knight takes f7. Rook e7 played by Salem. Threatening rook takes e5. Knight c6 played by Abdusattorov. Threatening knight takes e7. Rook e3 played by Salem. Rook takes a7 check. King f6. Rook e7. Threatening rook takes e3. Rook f3 played by Salem. On a7. Stop here and find the strongest move for Salem. Rook f4 check is the correct move because King g3. Rook a4. Rook e8. Knight d7. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. Rook takes a8. Still Salem is losing. Let's analyze the main line. On a7. Abdusattorov intends to play Rook f7 check. King takes f7. Knight e5 check. King e7. Knight takes f3. Knight f6. Pawn promotes to queen at a8 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight g5 is an inaccurate played by Salem. Pawn promotes to queen at a8. Knight g6 check. King g4. Rook f4 check. King g3. Rook f3 check. King g4. Take a moment to spot the best move for Salem. Rook f4 check is the correct move because King g3. Rook f3 check. King g2. Knight f4 check. King h2. Rook h3 check. Still Salem is losing. Let's go to the main game. King g4. Abdusattorov is planning to play Rook e6 check. Knight takes e6. King takes f3. Knight e5 check. Knight takes e5 and establish a winning position. Knight f8 could cost the game. Played by Salem. Queen a7. Salem fought hard but ultimately had to concede defeat.